Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are fine and staying home to keep yourself safe from COVID 19. Students, in the previous module, we discussed about the Third Carnatic War. And ahead to that topic, in this module, we are going to discuss some more battles took place between Indian rulers and the Britishers to take over the rule over India. Conquest of Bengal. The British wanted the control of rich province of Bengal, as we know that time from the trade point of view, the Bengal was well developed. Alvardin Khan, the Nawab of Bengal, was an able administrator that time. He had followed a policy of keeping the European merchants under control, but after his death, his grandson Siraz-ud-Dawla became the Nawab. The British started extending the fortification of Calcutta, now as Kolkata we know. Meanwhile, Siraz-ud-Dawla troops took over Calcutta. As after the death of Alvardin Khan, Siraz-ud-Dawla became the Nawab. During that period, British started extending fortification of the Calcutta. Fortification means creating a fort around the place, or you can say Gherabandi. So that type of concept is there. Robert Clive set out from Madras with an army of 900 Europeans and 1200 sepoys, armed and trained in European style of warfare, recaptured Calcutta. Actually, here sepoy is meaning that Indian uh, soldiers. The soldiers who were in Indian in the British army, so that were referred as sepoy, and 900 Europeans were there in that army. And this way, in this war, that Calcutta was recaptured by the Britishers. Battle of Plassey. Battle of Plassey held in 1757. It was fought between the forces of East India Company under Robert Clive and the army of Siraz-ud-Dawla at Plassey between Calcutta and Murshidabad. Mir Jafar, who wanted to become the Nawab, bribed Indian soldiers to throw away their weapons. Bribe Bribed meaning is that giving some ransom, some a kind of goose, you can say. The Clive easily won the battle. So this way, this type of cheating was done by the Britishers and the Mir Jafar. The British consolidated their position in Bengal by making Mir Jafar the Nawab of Bengal. He gifted large sum of money and 24 parganas of Bengal to British. So this was the game played by the Britishers along with Mir Jafar. As Mir Jafar helped the Britishers, Mir Jafar was given Nawabship of Bengal and he gifted large sum of money to the Britishers, and 24 parganas, you can say, district or the areas or village, that kind of concept is there, to the Bengal to the British for their own different uses. But Mir Jafar could not fulfill the constant demand of British. Of course, it was true that Britishers wanted to remove all these kinds of rulers, and that way they continued demanding huge amount of money and different other kinds of demand. And in this Mir Jafar failed, so they installed his son-in-law Mir Qasim as the Nawab. The Britishers installed or made sit to the throne this Mir Qasim as a Nawab. He granted equal trade facilities to British and the Indian merchants. So how foolish step was taken here by the Mir Qasim, and that was almost in the favor of Britishers, that equal trade facilities to the British and Indians, and this annoyed the British and they attacked him, as Britishers did not want such kind of similarity between the Indians and their business, and that way they attacked to this Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim took refuge at Awadh with Shujaz-ud-Dawla, where Mughal Emperor Shah Alam was also taking refuge. So they went from Bengal to the Awadh, and that Awadh is the Lucknow, the nearby areas. Battle of Buxar fought between means about 1764. The Battle of Buxar was very important in the history of India. The East India Company's victory in this battle established British colonial rule in Bengal Presidency and subsequent expansion of British control all over India. So, after this battle, Britishers got the full control of the Bengal Presidency along with expansion of British control all over India. Mir Qasim, the Nawab of Bengal, refused to be a puppet in the hand of British, as we know that Britishers wanted to make all the Indian rulers puppet of their hand. He wanted complete control of Bengal. He wanted to check the growing power of the British officials of the East India Company, and it resulted in a conflict and led to Battle of Buxar. That place is now in Bihar. The battle was fought between the British East India Company led by Major Hector Munro and armies of Mir Qasim Shah Alam II, the Mughal Emperor, and Shujaz-ud-Dawla, Nawab of Awadh at Buxar. So this way, the battle was beneficial for expansion of the power of East India Company, and it gained the rule and the Diwani, the right to collect the revenue from Bengal, which included Bihar and Odisha, now Odisha. So it gained the rule and the Diwani, the right to collect the revenue from Bengal, which included Bihar and Odisha. Now, dual government in Bengal, you know. The right to collect Diwani by British began a dual government in Bengal. Means the rule was there of Indian rulers over the Bengal, but the collection of taxes was there in the hand of Britishers. The Nawab looked after the administration and the company controlled the army and the judiciary and the revenue collection of the Bengal. Means The British Army controlled the judiciary, the revenue collection, the army of the Bengal, and work. Administrative work was there in the hand of Nawab. So this arrangement gave immense power to the British without any responsibility, because the administrators are responsible for holding all the responsibility related to the development activity, related to the providing the different facilities required to the area, and all these were done by the Nawab, and Britishers got the opportunity of having this huge army, that power of judiciary, power of collecting revenue for that source of earning. So all these benefits were there to the Britishers. But the general public suffered, because the general public has to face two kinds of administration, two kinds of rulers, one that Nawab and one the Britishers. Thousands of people died in Bengal in famine. Famine, you know that is student, continuous drought condition, and because of this drought condition, a lot of people die due to hunger, due to starvation. And when due to this starvation people die, that situation is called famine. This is generally happening because of the drought condition. Drought, you know that when the rain is not occurring up to a minimum level. 1770, but the company did not, means this in the famine in the year 1770, that famine took place, but the company did not help the victims, and Nawab did not have resources to help the people, as the revenue collection facility was there with the British people to the East India Company. In 1772, Warren Hastings, the governor of Bengal, abolished the dual government and gained the complete control over Bengal. So this way, the complete power went in the hand of Britishers, that is East India Company. Do you know the British passed Regulating Act of 1773 to regulate the activities of East India Company, but the corruption of the company officials continued, and therefore 1784 Pitt's India Act was passed. This set up a board of control to remove the shortcomings of the Regulating Act of 1773. So it is showing that British officials also were corrupt in their part. They were, of course, doing for the benefit of Britain, along with their own interest also was there. So this was for today's discussion, students. We'll meet in the next module with some more topics. Till then, bye bye all of you. Have a nice day, students.